and welcome back to what will be the finale of Sonic 3D Blast. We only have one more zone left to go and 2 bosses. This first act, however, is the biggest shift in the gameplay focus we've done so far. Flickies aren't in robots anymore. For this act, they are in capsules. What's also more interesting is that this is the only... well, both acts of this are only one-sectioned. You won't be collecting a tribe of Flickies several times in a row, you will only be doing it the once. And that applies to both acts together. You'll only be getting Flickies once this act, you won't be getting them next act. This is the last 5 Flickies of the game. Which is why it's going to be one of each kind, basically, for the end of this, to make it seem like it's the original 5 that are around. Oh god. Alright, we're going to be here a while. Oh no, we got it, we're good. It's also a very linear level as a whole, so don't worry about missing any of them. Just be wary of things like that. Get the red, stopping from jumping around. Oh dear, alright, I'm going this way first. There's Greeny, gotta make sure to get you as soon as, because you'll start running away. But yeah, I know this Let's Play's been a bit different, and this has been a lot shorter than a lot of the other ones I usually do. But I'll keep on saying it just for the people in the back. I want to do smaller stuff. Oh, my throat's going, 1 second. The cursor live recording, sometimes your throat has enough. But so there's 2 blues. So it's not quite one of every colour, there's only 4 colours and 5 Flickies, but yeah, it's literally just a collectathon. Get the ones in the capsule, then bring them to the end, and that's it. That's a cheeky invincibility. That's a very cheeky one. There we go, lure that out and get you. Now we just need to find the end. And you'll notice when we get to it, that it's also the end of the level. Probably this way, I assume. Yeah, standing still with invincibility music. Love to see it. And there it goes. If you've missed one, there's a switch here to send it back so you can go back to where you came. Red, thank you. Oh god, there's everything down there. So yeah, there's literally just the end of the level, there's nothing else here. Just get yourself through and out you go. And that's it for Act 1. That's literally it. There's no second section like every other act in the game. And that's also the last of the Flickies. When you go into Panic Puppet Zone Act 2, there are no Flickies. Your objective is to instead get into Eggman's giant machine in the middle of the stage. And you'll see what I mean as we go. We're going to pass by this thing a couple times on our way up to the top. It's more so just so then they have the excuse to throw down a more believable amount of endgame enemies around and obstacles without having to worry about, well, we can only have 5 robots because of the whole Flicky thing. Because this game's the most hazard focused game because of how little enemies they can have. So now they get to actually let loose with the enemies as well as the hazards as they go. Getting what you see here. And you might be able to see a part of this giant robot is bleeding into the foreground. That's because it's a breakable wall. Get it for an extra life. Oh god. Of course he makes a giant robot that looks exactly like him. Like, to the T. Not even like the Death Egg Robo, where it only kinda looks like him. No. This is like, he just made a giant statue of himself and put a big machine in it. Because legit, that's where the end game is. Inside it. As we do more of this game's questionable platforming. I say that wasn't too bad, as long as there isn't too much more of it. But in any other level in the game, you absolutely would not have 4 enemies in the same, like, room. Ooh, shield, thank you all. Can't carry it over to the boss, but whatever. Be careful of these. That's why. The first one you step on then step off will make it drop, but the rest of them will drop while you're on it. Just making it a bit more of a final hazard. But once you get up here, that's it. There goes the shortest axe in the game because it's the only one that has no Flickies. We've saved them all. So now it's time for, if you have not got all the Chaos Emeralds, this is your final boss. The way this first phase works is that you're trying to lure in these big things on the side to slam down on you because it weakens the arm support. There we go. You see how the arms are flashing once I did that? That's your idea of how this works. So then you jump up and you wallop it. Just be careful, if you stand out of range of these the fists, you will get shot at by the shoulder cannons. See, now that one's gone, so we can go over to the other side. Oh, too far away. We're in range, come on. Missed it, there we go. One more I think should do it. I think it's 4 each arm, right? Yep. Snap the last 2 rings and drop down when you're ready. Oh, this one, whilst it's got its attack like live, the arm is out. Like the arm is available to hit. I had to think for a second, I didn't remember this one. Mostly because it's the most patterned. You literally just go run around, come say hi to this one, bonk, run around. But you can see what I mean, like it's not hard. The only thing is that the third phase, it shoots basically most of the arena, and I can't remember if it's this boss fight or the true final boss, where the idea is basically to just stand in the corner and wait for it to finish. We'll find out pretty quickly. Like this, it's going to shoot like the hell out of it, out the arena, and I can't remember if this is the one where you're supposed to hide or whether you're supposed to attack. Oh no, you're supposed to just try and dive in and attack. Well, because I'm late to this, I'm probably going to end up suffering for it. Oh, it helps if I don't jump into the arm. Again, trying to get around. Alright, I just cut away until we're back here because I died again on the way trying to get it, but it's not as that hard. I just kept on cutting corners so I kept on getting free hits, or getting hit for free. But you just need to go wide. Treat it similar to how we handled the second phase. Just keep on going wide after every hit. You're just standing on the shoulder plating each time. And just be wary of the odd stray shot. Especially if you let it shoot for a while, it's likely going to get a shot out. And sometimes get annoyingly lucky. But that's it. If you've not got all the Chaos Emeralds, you've won the game. If you do, you've got one more challenge yet to go. So you get this little scene playing of the giant egg man thing breaking up. Well, I said they still call him Robotnik in this, but you know what I mean. And because of the power of the Chaos Emeralds, prepare to fight the final weapon. There is no Supersonic though, despite the fact you need the Chaos Emeralds to access the final fight zone. No, this is just how it is. Which I think also makes this the first game to have final in the name of its last level. Because it becomes a bit of a trademark, almost, for the Sonic series, that the last level has final and then something. Like, in Sonic Adventure's Final Egg, we had Final Rush and Final Chase for both Stories of Adventure 2. We had Final Fortress in Heroes. Even more recently, I say recently, it's been a few years now, but Sonic Forces ended with Final Judgment. Which is a shame that such a cool level name was wasted on Sonic Forces. But they've had a bit of an ongoing thing for a while that the last level is final and then a word. But the way this fight works, every time you hit it, you move on to a new attack to deal with. But you have to circle round twice. You have to do, so each of these gimmicks you're seeing, you're going to see a faster, more aggressive version of it on a second round. We're going to circle round basically this arena twice. So we've already done dodging the hand lasers. We've already done the fire, and now these fists. Oh, I was too close to the middle, so it caught me. Then it comes in, we hit it, and it will move away, allowing us access to the next bit. If you miss your hit, it will do the pattern again. Now, for what I think is the easiest, as long as you just keep moving a little bit, You won't get hit. Oh, I was moving in that quick. Oh, I thought it did rockets. You know, compared to the other phases, I would have thought it would have done the rockets, you know, more than once. When you think it did, like, the fireballs 3 times, the hand slam 3 times, the laser shot 3 times, like, and then for that was just 1, and then it comes out. Now, this is the one what I was thinking of earlier. I said if you just stand in the corner, you're pretty much safe. Because it's a set pattern where the balls go, and they never touch this left corner. It's not going to stop me safety jumping, just on the odd chance it proves me wrong. But as you saw there, the ball ended up in the same spot every single time. It's never going to hit you. But now, after that, we've done our first cycle. So now the second wave is exactly what we just did, but everything's a little faster. Case in point, the hand shot practically as soon as it could. But there was no real wind-up, it just started. And after 2, he's back in, so it tries to speed it up and make the whole process move a bit quicker. More so because the game also knows you know what you're doing at this point. Whereas in this one, the fire chasing you lasts a little longer. It's a tiny bit more persistent than usual. But as soon as you get your hit in, they all vanish and you get to move on. Back to the fists. The fists, I think it's more that they do their wind up a little quicker than they used to. But to be honest, it's so slow anyway, I don't really notice it. Like, I might just be assuming it's doing something quicker because everything else does something a bit different. But it doesn't feel like it. It just feels maybe slightly quicker, but that might just be my mind telling me it's slightly quicker because of how much everything else is. Alright, now this time, don't stand so close to the fist. Oh, I still got caught. Yeah, and also the rings you found on the first panel are the rings you have to carry around the whole cycle. So don't collect all of them immediately because you'll just make it more troublesome for yourself later. There goes that waste of a time phase. I don't get what's the point of that phase. They really could have done more with it. Right, last hit and then we're done. Same again, stand in the corner. So as soon as I moved out the corner then I was at risk, but I was like, it's done now. And that's the end of the fight. Now, regardless of what ending you're going for, you are truly done. So congratulations, you got through the final fight. It was like the only really interesting boss in the game, just because there's more to it. And they repeat a screen here, but just change the background, which I find kind of funny. And we're done. We're done with this very bizarre, quirky little game. Thank you, Sonic. You saved us from Robotnik. We are grateful for your efforts. I just did what I wanted to do. Nobody messes with my friends. See ya. The Flickies have been freed. Peace and freedom came back to Flicky Island again. What a weird island. And that's it. Sonic 3D Blast. Which came out in a very peculiar time for Sonic. It was trying to find its footing of what it wanted to do in the transition going into 3D as the Sega Saturn was making the rounds. But it took Sonic a long time to really find what it wanted to do. Because we had Sonic the Fighters and we had Sonic R for 3D, and you had Sonic Jam, which it was a collection of the first 3 games on the Saturn, but also had like a little gallery playground which had a 3D Sonic that you could control freely. So there was clearly like experimentations and a lot of work done to try out and test the waters of 3D Sonic before the Dreamcast came out and we finally got Sonic Adventure that really, even though a lot of people dog on it nowadays, really defined itself effectively on how it should work and how it should be when making a 3D Sonic game. The only thing of it that's not aged well is the whole big fishing theme, because what the fuck. But the rest of it is masterclass in my opinion, and I've always enjoyed Sonic Adventure, but that's not this game. This is this game. This is Sonic 3D Blast. I've always liked the idea, and I always liked the music, but from the word go, you notice me commenting on the fact that the controls have not aged well. The controls are slippery as hell. And it's one of those things where, although I never had to whip out the arcade stick, I had it on standby at all times, knowing that there was a good chance I would if it decided to wind me up. The biggest thing that hurts it is its controls by far, and using both either the D-pad or the analog stick, both of which will only hurt you because it was a game made with a D-pad, so the analog stick is poorly configured for it. So no matter how you play it, you have to deal with really questionable movement controls. The jumping is inaccurate. Platforming, although you didn't get to see the worst of it, platforming can really be a nightmare in this game, because you can straight up phase through blocks if you're like a millimeter off where it wants to be. Your only real extra in this game is the sound test, which I get it, it's still early days, it was kind of common to not really have much other than maybe a sound test or level select. But this is all there really is. And you get to listen to the or whatnot. Or not Palm Tree Panic, that's Sonic CD. Puppet Panic, Act 1. Just for the simple reason of you get to hear where the track came from. It came from this game. So when you next play Sonic Adventure and go to Twinkle Park and hear the music, you know it originated from this. Oh, the better boss theme. Just because it's actually got more of a pattern to it. And to be honest, that's all I can really say. Alright game for its time, but it is extremely dated and its controls are its biggest letdown. The music is great fun. It looks alright for a Mega Drive Genesis game. Looks better on Saturn, but has worse music on the Saturn version. The special stages are pathetically easy. The only boss that really gave us trouble was the normal game final boss, because it's an actual, normal game final boss. And the Volcano Valley boss, just because I didn't realise what to do straight away. But that's really it. That's all that can really be said. So I'll see you guys next week for whatever I do next week to bide the time before I get a PS5. Take care, guys.